Once you've carefully cut out all of your pattern pieces from the tracing paper, you're going to start to pin those pieces onto the fabric. So, for example, here's a nice blue piece of felt fabric, and I have got a pattern piece which says blue on it, so I'm going to place that onto the pattern piece. However, I am not going to place it directly in the center. I'm going to be as economical as I can, and I'm going to rotate it in a way that makes it fit towards the edge. That means that all of this fabric will stay free and clear of any cut out pieces, so I can cut out more pieces from that in the future. If I was to place this right smack bang in the middle, these two pieces at the side are smaller and it doesn't give me as much space to work on in the future. Now you've got two options here. You can pin your pattern piece to the fabric and you could just cut it out like that, or you could draw around the edge to make a mark where you want to cut. That allows you to be a little bit more precise. So I'm going to pin and then draw around. Now it's up to you. You can use a piece of tailor's chalk if you have some. You want something that's going to show up on your fabric. So if you were using a black piece of felt, you would need a lighter colour of tailor's chalk. A pencil wouldn't work on a black piece of fabric. But you could always just use the pinning method as well. I think this gives you a bit more precision. So when I take this pin away and the pattern piece away, you can see I've got a clear line where I can follow with my scissors. For some of my colours of felt, I've got more than one pattern piece for that piece of felt. Now, in my case, I've got very small pieces, so this isn't actually that important for me to do here, but you might have pieces that are bigger. So I'm just going to show you. Again, you're not going to place your pattern piece right in the centre of the fabric. You're going to place it towards the edge. That leaves all of the space for you to work on in the future. I might even put it a little bit lower. Be really sort of squash it in there. And then I'm going to place my other red pattern piece on there. I think I've got another tiny little red piece. Now some pieces are going to be so small that they're actually quite hard to work with felt. So I'm going to see if this is possible to cut a piece out that is this small. And if it isn't, then I will adapt my design and I will use satin stitch and back stitch to add these little feet. It's for the feet here. I'm going to pin them in place and draw around them. I think these two are actually too small to pin down. I'll just hold them in place as I draw and just be really careful to keep them still. So do this for all of your pattern pieces and then carefully cut out all of your felt shapes. Okay, so I just pinned all of my pieces together. I don't think I'm going to sew them with all the pins in this. I'm just going to attach one piece at a time, but it's just to show you, how it's all going to be held together eventually once it's sewn. So the next step is to start sewing.